Hi guys, welcome to the video, and today I wanted to talk about how the pandemic has actually shown up elite athletes and world-class athletes to be generally overtrained. And this seems to be a massive sweeping statement, but it's not without some foundation, because I've been doing some actual research and looking back at times and looking at the times of specifically this year and how quickly athletes generally all across the board are actually running. Now, added to this, let's start somewhere else at the world records. World records have dropped this year, or world records have almost dropped this year. Namely, Cheptegei's 5,000 meter world record. That's a 16-year world record went down this year, and his training this year has been vastly depleted. He's had to, by his own admission, I think through March through to May, he spent more time with his family and concentrated more on sleep and relaxation because he was locked down. Carsten Warholm smashed the 300 meter world record, which no one runs. Admittedly, no one runs, but he almost smashed the 28-year world record set by Kevin Young in the 400 meter hurdles. And if he'd got that last hurdle right, he would have smashed it. He was just outside it, and he made a mistake on the 10th hurdle in the 400 meter hurdles, and just that delayed him, and he would have smashed the world record generally. So athletes on that, it hasn't stopped athletes going for running quicker than ever before. Now, it's not just world records, it's not just the odd runner running quickly. I've looked at the Monaco Grand Prix where Cheptegei broke that world record, and look at the personal best and national records set by athletes all across the board, and I counted about 25, 26 national records, PBs set all across the board, and that was far better than last year in the Monaco Grand Prix, and it was not as well as, I think there was about 30 in 2018, but I think it was better than 2017 and 2016. So it just shows that athletes came back. The actual pandemic was a blessing in disguise. Athletes came back far more refreshed because they were limited to the amount of training they could do. Gyms were shut, tracks were shut, and generally they had to spend more time on rest and relaxation and remedial stuff. And it just shows that even the elite athletes and the world-class athletes at the top end of the sport still don't understand training. They still don't understand how to stay refreshed. They still have that feeling of comfort blanket of hard work. And an athlete generally, a high-class athlete all across the board, you're probably the same. You have that kind of feeling that I'm satisfied with my training if I come off the training, the track with feeling tired, spent. I left everything out on the track. There's still that overwhelming essence or feeling that more training means better performance, which we know that's not the case. The pandemic has showed that by limiting people. I go over this video about the limitations of training hard and how you should practice and change your kind of mindset about training. But because right now we're still thinking the comfort blanket of training is just giving us that kind of overtraining aspect. We're training too much in the intensity threshold, too much in the lactic threshold, too much of battering the body each and every session and doing it far too often. Doesn't mean that, pushing yourself in the odd training session is not good. It is good on the odd occasion, but it should not be the foundation of training. There's much more nuance, and specifically if we're going to actually think about it, overtraining means a couple of things. It means doing the same thing, training over and over again, but it also means too much intensity work. And that's the problem that we have at the moment. Too much lactic threshold, too much training hard. So we've got to actually look at it, the fact that generally in track and field, we as coaches and athletes have to think, what is the right level of training for us? Are we spending too much? Are we still got that, I say again, that comfort blanket of hard work feeling, when we feel good and satisfied and comforted when we've done a hard training session? Don't we have to just look at that again? Don't we have to limit the amount of time we train at that intensity, do more training in a relaxed state? It doesn't mean do less training, but do more training in a relaxed state so we can recover for the next training session, and so that we can get injured less. So that's just a video just to get you to think again. The pandemic has shown up the athletes to be faster than ever before, and it hasn't limited them in any way. In fact, it's helped them. So look at your training. Look at what are you incorporating relaxation into your training? If not, do it. But For me, it just leaves me to say thanks for watching. Subscribe and share this video if you can. Please like it, and see you in the next video.